this question, determine the overhead from both production departments allocated to each unit of product A if the company uses multiple department rate system. So Blue Ridge Marketing manufactures two products, A and B. Presently, the company uses a single plant-wide factory overhead rate for allocating the overhead to products. However, management is considering moving to a multiple department rate system for allocating overhead. So the following table presents information about estimated overhead and direct labor hours. We can see the painting department, the overhead 248,000, direct labor hours is 10,000. Product A uses 16 direct labor hours, B 4 direct labor hours. Finishing department, overhead is 72,000 and direct labor hours of 10,000. $4 hours for product A and 16 for B. So they ask us to determine the overhead from both production departments allocated to each unit of product A if the company uses multiple departments. If I consider that, I'm going to take the overhead of $248,000 and divide it by 10,000 hours, so that's going to be $24.80 per hour. Okay? I'm also going to consider the finishing department of 72,000 divided by 10,000 hours, and that would be $7.20 per hour. So now if product A is consuming, my next step, 16 hours, I'm going to multiply this times 16. I'll multiply the $7.20 by 4. So I get 24.8 times 16, and that's $396.80. I get $7.20 times 4 hours, and that's $28.80. So for product A, the total amount then, adding those two numbers together, is $425.60. So that would be the correct answer. Now let's compare if we use the single plant-wide rate, how much would be used by product A. So we'd be comparing, and we're going to take just the single plant-wide rate, we're going to divide it, $320,000, by $20,000. And I'm going to compare that. So if I take the 320 divided by 20,000, that's $16 per hour. And the product A uses 20 hours down here. So I'd multiply 20 times the 16, 20 hours, and that is 320. So under the single plant-wide system, we would charge product A $320, but under a multiple department system, we'd charge product A $425.60. Why this is important is because of cost distortion, where the product is using a larger amount of the painting department, which has a higher rate of $16, versus the smaller rate or lesser rate of the finishing department. And we can more closely charge our costs to the product, which helps us determine the proper amount to mark it up, sell it, and have a profit on the product. So as we get more refined and more detailed in our cost allocations, we can better determine what it costs us and therefore charge an appropriate price to the product. Product B could probably be marketed and sold for a lesser amount. Any discussion there?